Here a girl can just relax or catch up with her reading, or maybe this is the chance to answer those letters. It's a hairdo with a view of Hyde Park for the beauty-conscious girl who visits the hair-drying salon of...
Unusual items aren't born in IKEA, you know? I mean, I think people really want to distinguish their personalities with, you know, something more rare. This is the cabinet that was, that survived the Chicago fire. And, you know, this is the original way it's never been refinished. We kept it that way because we thought it made the piece more interesting. We can walk over here. I could show you a few other things that seem to be, hold people's interest. See, now, if you look at that crystal boudoir lamp, that was probably made in the 1920s or 30s, and it's all crystal, and it has crystal grapes on it, which makes it, really interesting and cool. That's what attracts people to this sort of thing, because it's so unique, and maybe somebody would like to have it in a video or in a bedroom. Why not? This was from the 1930s, and this is actually a working steam engine. Al Jorgensen from the band Ministry had caught that and had it stuffed. And it was sold to me about a year ago. It's kind of cool. Some things, people don't even know what they are, but they were common 100 years ago in people's houses. Like one thing that almost every woman had in her bedroom was called a vanity set. And it was a set of dresser trays, and one object is a jar and it has a hole in it. And everybody goes, what is that? Why would you have a jar with a hole in the top? Well, it was actually back in the day when the ladies thought it was really good to brush your hair. And they used to say, oh, you have to brush your hair 100 times a day. And they would save the hair. And then they would actually make jewelry out of it for a loved one. This building has been in our family for many years. My father opened it, and he opened it in 1968. And he was like a crazy collector. He was from the South, and at that time in Chicago, a lot of Southern people were bringing antiques from the southern parts of the United States, hauling it up in trucks. That's how it all really started. It was, at one point, he had antiques in like a New Age store, which was really cool because in the late 60s and early 70s, the Rodgers Park area was filled with hippies. So it was a great mix. And then historically, what happened was the neighborhood got really bad, and my parents got older. They couldn't take it anymore, and so they left. They fled and left me with the store. That was it, really. And they asked me, they said, well, do you want the business? Do you want the building and the business? Because we're leaving for Arizona. I'm like, okay. When they had it, it was more like a traditional antique store. And then what we did was, since a lot of us are really involved with theater, we started focusing more on vintage clothing and costuming. And like we worked on Public Enemies and Sinister 3 and things like that, so whatever anybody needs to rent. A lot of times people will call us if they have unusual items to get rid of. A lot of times they won't even know really the name of the store. They just know if it's unusual to come over here to the corner of Howard and Greenview and bring it, or at least send us some pictures. And we buy all over the place. We buy things from mostly the Chicago area, but really as far as clothing goes and costuming, all over the world.